What's up, guys? So I had a video posted about the 24-105, and in that video I had mentioned that it is one of the most versatile lenses that you can ever own, just because it has the most amazing focal length from 24-105. It is an f4, but you're able to kind of get that range. Now, one of my commenters named Raphael, he asked, what is the difference between, say, the 24-105 versus something like this guy right here? The 50mm 1.2 is actually known for a lot of us pros as being that all-around do-it lens. I mean, it is 1.2 aperture, 50mm. It's just got that middle range that you can shoot half lengths, you can shoot full length portraits, you can do a lot of things with this lens. It's kind of recognized as, you know, mimicking the human eye. However, I prefer a little bit wider range for that, but that's just what they say. That's just kind of out there. You know, if you ever buy a DSLR or mirrorless camera and you kind of Google or just search, you know, what is the first lens that I should buy, there are gonna be so many people saying you should go for a 50, not necessarily maybe a 1.2, but like a 1.4 or 1.8, also known as the nifty 50. And there's that range where you have you're at a fixed focal length, and then you have your zoom lenses, which offer you that flexibility. So in this video, we're going to get to the reasons why one might choose one over the other. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? It's Rick. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I would love for you guys to hit that like button, subscribe, check it out. There's a lot of information. I'm trying to build up the channel, but if you guys do that, watch the video. I would really appreciate it. Super helpful to kind of, I don't know, make me inspired by creating more videos to help you guys. But back in my day when I first started as a photographer, I just needed the best bang for the buck, and that basically required me to kind of go into the zoom portion of the lens selection, because it offers you the range in one package, and it just ultimately costs less in the end. But you know, I went my 1635 2.8, 2470 2.8, 7200 2.8, the Hebrew Trinity, if you will, of the zoom class of lenses. So not that we're discussing the 2.8, but something like this, the 24-105. Raphael, I hope you are watching this video. Yeah, I did mention that this lens right here, 24-105 f4, is one of the most versatile lenses that you can get, and you're able to do everything well with it. Now, it's not perfect because it's stuck at an aperture of f4. That's kind of where the 50mm 1.2 becomes so versatile. I mean, the only reason you would choose one or the other, if you had to go, is because you are shooting in a super low light environment, which, and for me, is weddings, or you're looking for that dreamy, creamy, you know, diffused, out of focus background, and really pulling in your subject to kind of create this 3D looking effect, which is very popular. I think everyone loves to shoot with this certain level depth of field, I myself included. However, there are places where you don't need to use that depth of field, and that might kind of come back to the solution where you can get a 24-105. But when it comes to ultimate low light performance, there's really nothing that can beat an amazing prime lens such as the 50mm. So I was able to use both lenses, set them at around 50mm, just so I can mimic the 50mm 1.2, so I can share with you guys examples of what the depth of field capabilities are, and obviously the low light performance as well. So let's kind of get into the examples, and let's get to it. So here we are. I have just kind of myself the ultimate awesome like model. I'm really not a model, this is terrible. But here I am, I'm shooting this at 50mm 1.2, and you can just kind of see at this range, at this level, I can just blow out the background. You barely see what's going on back there. I mean, you kind of see what's going on back there, but it's basically, you know, it's a brick wall, and you can't really see, you can't really make out what's behind the subject in this sense. I do have it on autofocus, so It is focusing, it's doing eye tracking on the EOS R, but you can kind of see even at 1.2 it does an amazing job first off. But you can see the background is just beautiful, blown out, done. Here you'll see that I have that same 50mm 1.2 set at f4, so you can sort of see what that depth of field looks like. Even at f4, you can still get a nice diffused background, but obviously is not as much as the 1.2. So here we are, I actually threw in a 105 f4. I was trying to get as close as possible to the previous shot, and you know, just as you can see at 105, you can still get a blurry background, even though that backdrop was 3 feet behind me. And you can basically see that at 105 at f4, you can still create some amazing blurred background. Now, obviously not as much as shooting at 1.2. However, if that wall behind me was a lot further away, you can still create that same look. So yeah, I mean, you don't have to be, you know, that close to the background. You just have to be a little bit more picky on the locations that you're photographing or shooting video in. So here I am in the office, and the lighting, the balance of light is not the greatest, but here I am in the office and I want to kind of shoot this. I'm shooting this at a 50mm 1.2 just to show you guys an example of, well, the depth of field. You can kind of see it's focusing on me, but you can also see that nice beautiful blur effect in the background. But I'm shooting this at ISO 100. Now, if you take a look at this, and you say to yourself, well, how are you getting so much light? It's because you're shooting at 1.2, and that's a perfect example of why you might want to choose this lens over something like an f4. So here you go, I have an example of me shooting, again, working in the office, but I want to share with you guys this example because this is set at ISO 800 versus the 100 at 1.2, but this is set at f4. So this is 50mm at f4, shooting it at ISO 800. So it just needs that much more light to create that same exposure. Obviously you can see it at 4, you lost that shallow depth of field, and you can kind of see more of the background. So it's not as blurry, it's not as clean, I guess defocused if you will, but you can basically see what that's allowing you to do. So yeah, when I made the video about the 24-105, I didn't say it is a low light monster. It's absolutely not. It's just, I still believe it being one of the most versatile lenses that you can really speak of, because you can really use it anywhere. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe. If you have comments and questions, leave it down below and I'll get to it. And guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.